Hi guys, happy Halloween! So to start this look, I am using my NYX brow glue just to tame my brows down and kind of glue them to my face. And now that they're all glued down, I'm going to take those two bottom shades from my Browsings palette by Benefit Cosmetics. This gives a really good background since my brows are pretty much non-existent for any pencil or other products that I put down. And now for my pencil, I'm going to take the e.l.f. Precisely Brow in the shade Brunette. This is a really good and expensive brow pencil since I do tend to go through them very, very quick. And yes, I do know I go through a lot of brow products just for my daily brow. So this is the Urban Decay Brow Blade. I like to take the shade, I believe it's Brunette Betty, and just draw individual strokes at the front of my brow to make it more defined. And I like that fluffy look, so it gives me that fluffy look with the hairs that I don't really have. And now I'm gonna carve out these bad boys because they're a little messy. I like to take the e.l.f. Camo Concealer, I believe that's in Light Sand, just to carve them out. I like this concealer better than any other concealer because it dries down matte without having to set the concealer down with any powder. So it works perfectly because I like to bounce right into my eyes after this. Now I'm going to prime my lids with the Anastasia eyeshadow primer. I love this. If you can't get your hands on the P. Louise base like everybody else can apparently, this is a really good option. You can get it at Ulta or you can get it online through Ulta, Sephora, all of that. That's why I like this one better, and it cancels out the lid as well as dries down matte. So now I'm going to take my Transitions palette from Kristen Dominique and taking the shade Blushing in my crease just as my Transitions shade. So now I'm going in with my favorite palette from Anastasia and taking Soft Orange just to continue deepening that crease in that transition shade. That's the main point of this look. You just want to slowly deepen it. Now I'm going to take this cream eyeshadow from Bite Beauty. I don't remember the shade, but I'll leave it down below. And I'm using that as a cream base for my outer corner and to help wing it out, to give me that winged out effect, as well as a tacky base for any darker color that I place on top. Now taking the shade Mulberry from the same Anastasia palette, I'm going to go over that cream shadow just to kind of set it and start deepening up my outer corner. Again, going in with that e.l.f. Camo Concealer, I'm going to go ahead and cut out that inner half of my lid like you see here. I just place it down, kind of look up, and then blend it out. I know y'all are going to say I'm switching too many palettes, but I'm taking this iconic palette and taking the shade Icon from the palette to set down my concealer because I wanted that sparkle and shine. So I also did spray that eyeshadow with some MAC Fix Plus so it can be a little bit more intense. So now I'm going back in with a Soft Glam palette from Anastasia. I'm taking Rustic and Sienna to blend out that harsh line in the middle. I'm going to take Mulberry and Cypress Umber from the same palette just to deepen up my outer corner again. Now I'm going to go in with my cream eyeliner from Anastasia in the shade Jet. I'm just showing it off there with the angled brush. I'm going to go ahead and line just the outer half of my lid to start creating that smoke. And I'm also going to take Noir from that same eyeshadow palette and smudge that out. I'm going to create that little wing on the outside so I have a guide for my liquid liner. Well, oops, I didn't realize my camera turned off and cut out me drawing on my wing liner. I just took the Anastasia liquid liner to do so. And now I'm going to take the Impossible primer from Wet n Wild to help prime my face. I absolutely love this primer, and for the price, you really can't beat it. And now I'm going to go in with the Morphe foundation. I don't know the shade. I'll leave it down below in the description box. But taking that with a beauty blender, I am just going to pounce that on my skin. I prefer it with a beauty blender than a brush because I have dry skin. So I don't want it to drag up any flakes that I have on my skin. Now I'm going to take my Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer. I think the shade is Vanilla for this one. But of course, I leave all the shade names down below so you guys can know what shades I'm using. But I'm just going to go ahead and do my normal concealing and highlighting with this concealer. And for blending out my under eyes, I really like to use this brush just to help really stamp it in, keep the coverage, and then afterwards I do pounce over it with a beauty blender just to make sure everything's seamless. Well, now I'm going to take the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer. And of course, it does not say what shade it is down below. So, I'll leave it in the description box. Like I do with most of the shades, as you heard. I'm just going to take this and kind of stamp it in the places that I would normally bronze and contour. And then I'm going to blend it out with my IT Cosmetics Heavenly Luxe Dual-Ended Foundation Brush. I think that's what it's called. So, yep. Now I'm going to use the all-nighter powder from Urban Decay just so I can set my under eyes down, and it really helps it stay. I don't find creasing with this or anything like that, but this is my first initial set. You'll see another set where I will bake underneath my eyes and all of the normal places on my face. See, next set is with the translucent powder from Anastasia. I will just stamp my beauty blender in it, kind of carve under my cheekbones, both sides, and we'll take that underneath my eyes. And I like to blend out that bakage with my Hourglass Illuminating Bright Bronzer. I'll leave the shade name down below. And I will just take that all over my skin and blend out that bakage. Last powder, I promise. This is just the Laura Mercier setting powder. I believe it's in the shade light medium. And I will go over all of my face and give me that airbrush look. I love this powder because it is just seamless and gives you the nice airbrush look. Now I'm going to take my Tarte Clay blush in the shade Exposed and place that just primarily on my outer side of my the outer side of my face. I cannot speak today. I apologize, guys, but I love this blush. It's just super natural, and I'll tip a little bit on my nose. So right before I go in with my highlighter, I will take my Morphe setting spray and just spray it on my face and kind of fan it down. I also take my beauty sponge just to tap everything in, make sure I have no watermarks or anything like that. And after that, I like to take my highlighter. This is the Ofra highlighter in Star Island. I haven't used this one in God knows how long, but it's just that perfect kind of light champagne shimmery shade just to highlight my cheekbones. I wanted something that popped today. It's Halloween time, so we need a little bit of poppage. So now I'm going to go back in with the Anastasia Cream Gel Paints in black and line the outer corner of my lower lash line. And I'm going to take the shade Rustic and Mulberry just to blend it out. This is going to be the setting of it and blending of it. Now taking the shade Dusty Rose from that same palette, I'm going to use that to continue to blend out that lower lash line. I really wanted a smoky lower lash line for this look today. Again, taking that liquid liner from Anastasia. Here I'm going to go ahead and fix up my wing a little bit because I did get a lot of shadow over it and I wanted that wing to pop. Now I'm taking the lashes in the style Goddess from my girl Lashes by Nelly. I'll leave her Instagram down below. I pop those on and I'm taking that same liquid liner just to kind of draw out my inner corner and make it more of that feline cat eye shape. Now I'm using that same liquid liner to kind of draw some tear shapes down below. This was an Evil Queen kind of crying look, so I did wear my tiara with this look, but I loved the fact that it looked like she was crying black blood. Now, I don't know. The number one scary movie rule is to not say I'll be back. But I went and did my hair, and now I'm going to take the shade Blackberry from NYX Cosmetics to line my lips. And I do want to fill in most of my lips with this shade. I didn't like it, and I had to redo it, and yeah. So now I'm taking this liquid lipstick from Dose of Colors in the shade Extra Saucy. I love saying that name. I'm just going to go ahead and fill in my lips with that. Just to deepen up the outer corners of my lip, I am taking the Urban Decay lipstick in Perversion and placing that on the outer corners of my mouth and kind of massaging my lips together just to blend it. And then I also take my finger just to press everything in. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this look. Stay tuned to one more spooky look coming soon.